We all have our everyday grooming routines, showering, brushing your teeth, shaving a few times a week. Well, I bet you didn't know that Dollar Shave Club, yes, that Dollar Shave Club, has all your grooming products, toothpaste, body wash, hairstyling products, everything you need to look, feel, and smell your best, not just razors.
For a limited time, you guys can try out some of their awesome products for only $5. DSC is basically giving away their daily essential starter set to new members for only $5. This starter set includes their executive razor and 3 trial-sized versions of their most popular products that help you stay fresh and clean.
In your first box, you're going to receive their shave butter, body wash, and One Wipe Charlie's butt wipes. You'll also receive their executive razor, which includes their premium, weighty handle and full cassette of cartridges. After the first box, replacement cartridges are sent for only a few bucks a month. Their products are best in class for less than best in class prices. This $5 offer is exclusively available at dollarshaveclub.com/ETC show. That's dollarshaveclub.com/ETC show. Thank you for sponsoring the show. Now let's talk about, there's a small movie coming out this weekend. Maybe you've seen it already.
Yeah, obviously, Avengers Infinity War is the biggest movie in the world right now. And by now, a good majority of you have probably seen it, considering it's the culmination of a decade or so build-up from Marvel Studios. I haven't.
Yeah.
But will it dethrone the #1 movie of all time, Avatar? Probably not, because for some reason, which is still a complete mystery to us, that movie is nearly untouchable. I'll tell you why, actually. It's because everyone saw it in 3D and paid twice as much for it.
Yeah.
And no one does that anymore.
It's all big in China.
But the reviews and the early box office estimates that we've seen at the time of this writing are certainly going to put it very high on that list.
Now, this episode will be spoiler-free.
This is a safe space.
Yeah, because although I've seen it and I can barely contain myself with wanting to discuss it with someone, Elliot hasn't. Yeah, so let's just get into the news about this massive debut. On Thursday night alone, Infinity War brought in $39 million, beating the record for every Marvel movie ever, and nearly doubling Black Panther and Age of Ultron, and doing more in one night than most movies will do in their opening weekends, if not their entire cinematic run.
Yeah.
That's insane. Estimates based on these numbers put the latest installment of Avengers making upwards of $250 million domestically for its opening weekend, and probably around $500 million worldwide.
Yeesh.
These estimates could change at any point over the weekend, but the fact remains, this movie, as everyone expected, is huge.
Believe me. Now, as far as reviews go, it's sitting at a very comfortable 84% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, with 231 reviews counted towards that number, and a 94% rating from audiences, with over 20,000 reviews counted as of the time of us writing this episode. The consensus is, quote, Avengers Infinity War ably juggles a dizzying array of MCU heroes in the fight against their gravest threat yet, and the result is a thrilling, emotionally resonant blockbuster that mostly realizes its gargantuan ambitions.
So yeah, here's some top quotes from the bigger critics online. We're going to include both good and bad. David Betancourt of Washington Post said, Thanos packs a heck of a punch in Infinity War. He pretty much punches everyone. It's the emotion behind those punches that will surprise you.
It's a heckin' good movie.
He didn't add that, but it is a heckin' good movie in my opinion.
Brian Truitt of USA Today says that, quote, Marvel has pulled off all sorts of cinematic flavors in its 10-year legacy, from heist films and political thrillers to space operas and fantasy epics. Now it boasts a full-fledged Shakespearean tragedy.
Todd McCarthy of Hollywood Reporter said, quote, with so many ingredients to stir into this overflowing pot, you have to hand it to the 2 experienced teams of Marvel collaborators who had a feel for how to pull this magnum opus off.
But of course, as with almost any movie, there's going to be people who didn't really care for the film. And a lot of the negative reviews tiptoe a little into spoiler territory, so we're going to select those carefully. But here's some thoughts from the negative side, the dark side, which you're free to argue for or against in the comments below. We'll add another warning real quick here to say that you should be careful in the comments of this and really any other movie-related YouTube video, because there are sure to be dickheads posting spoilers down there.
Yeah. The easiest thing to do is go see the movie, but, I'm not your mom. Anyways, negative reviews. Matthew Raza of Salon.com wrote, The Avengers Infinity War isn't just a gussied-up mediocrity being widely mistaken for a good movie. It's also, at least arguably, a dangerous movie for anyone who cares about the future of American cinema. Jeez.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
A.A. Dowd of the AV Club said that Infinity War inherits plenty of the problems endemic to crossovers, the privileging of quantity over quality, of spectacle over story, and of the shock value of major changes to the status quo over just about everything else.
Adam Graham of Detroit News said, it's too much Too many characters, too much action, too much everything. It's a superhero surplus with too many heroes and not enough screen. It's Infinity Overload. Yeah,
now I'm worried.
You shouldn't be worried.
I think I might hate this movie.
No. You shouldn't be worried because here's what I think.
The things they're saying are things that I've felt about other movies like this.
I trust that you will be fine, Elliot.
All right.
If you liked that final trailer, which you did, you'll love this. But to further nail home that point, I'm not a movie critic. Maybe I have my name on the back of the Warcraft DVD, but that's the extent of my my tenure in the industry. Anyways, here's what I think. Joe Schmo Blow Schmo down. Believe me, take this with a grain of salt because, as you know, I like almost everything, and I usually just won't see something if I think it's going to be bad, so I can't review the bad stuff, so I only do good things. This movie did something that is unprecedented in scale and balanced a ton of huge characters that we've grown to love over a decade in a way that works even though the action is nonstop. As an action movie, it's hard to think of one that's better within or outside of the genre. When I say the action never stops, I really, really mean that. It's hard to find time to take a breath in this movie while sitting on the edge of your seat. The only moments you're allowed to calm down are when the trademark humor comes through. There's a good amount of that, and nearly every joke was nailed perfectly. There's some stinkers in there, but you'll see those. Honestly, I don't know what people can expect out of a movie that crams so many story arcs and characters into one 2.5 hour film, but they did a better job than some people out there are giving them credit for. There's a lot to take in and a lot to think about once you leave the theater, but for fans of the entire cinematic universe, Infinity War is the ultimate prize after such a long journey, and I'm probably going to see it again in this weekend. I will say I was forced, we talked about this 2 weeks ago, or last week, can't remember which one it was. I was forced to see this movie in 3D because all of the big screens that it was playing on, like the big nice theaters with the good sound systems, all in 3D. I would recommend against that if you have the ability. I need to see it again in 3D. It was
in 2D.
In 2D. It was a bit much. And like I said, there's a couple scenes like this with any 3D movie that are like, hey, there's a thing that actually looks like it's in 3D. But for the most part, it just looks the same.
Put on glasses now.
Yeah.
All right, so we know everyone's going to be talking about this Avengers movie all weekend long, and certainly well into next week, and I am making a promise right now to Ricky and to the viewers that I will see it at some point this weekend so we can have a full discussion on Monday morning's live show. I might have to wake up real early, find some theater out near Six Flags or something that opens for the old timers.
Yeah.
Catch a matinee. I don't know.
See it at Six Flags because they have the DC characters, not Marvel.
Yeah, smart.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll do it. I'll do the thing. But in other news, believe it or not, there is other news out this week. So let's talk about something aside from Marvel. CinemaCon was happening in Las Vegas this past week, which that's basically the annual movie convention for industry insiders who get to see and hear about all the new movies coming out in the near future and hear about what studios are currently working on. It's literally a theater chain convention, but it's turned into like a place where they actually
it was like, hey, theaters, here's what's coming out soon, back when the internet didn't exist. And people were like, wait, I can get inside info about what to expect coming soon? Okay, I'm going to send some journalists there.
Right.
And now it's turned into a completely different thing.
Now it's a thing.
It's basically the real Comic-Con Hall H style. But you got to work hard, go to journalism school to get in there.
Anyway, one of the most exciting titles that we were eager to hear about was the reboot of Halloween from the team behind HBO's Eastbound and Down and Vice Principals, David Gordon Green and Danny McBride, starring Jamie Lee Curtis. It's definitely a unique, if not odd, pairing for a horror film, but the work they did on Vice Principals showed us that they have what it takes to make more than just great comedies. That show and Eastbound and Down got very fucking dark.
Yeah, Vice Principals
very often.
Way darker than Eastbound and Down, but Eastbound and Down did get depressing and weird at some points, but I'm very curious about this Halloween movie. Apparently, the details and the trailer for Halloween went over great with those in attendance, with many people saying that it looks truly horrifying. Birth Movie's Death has a great write-up about the experience with a pretty detailed description of the trailer that they saw, saying that the film's star, Jamie Lee Curtis, promised on stage that this movie will, quote, scare the shit out of them. They also added that if the trailer we saw today is any indication, she did not lie. This shit was intense. We'll leave a link to the article below, as well as links to everything else today. So if you want to read that, the whole description of the trailer, go ahead. But the key takeaway from it is that it seems like it's going to be a revenge film from Laurie Strode's perspective, with a quote from the trailer, including a conversation between her and a local sheriff, where she says, "I've prayed every night that he'd escape." The sheriff says, "Why on earth would you do that?" And she responds, "So I could kill him." There you go. The trailer should be out publicly pretty soon. The movie comes out October 19th. If they've shown it there, they're probably just waiting on the next big release to attach it to.
And between A Quiet Place and Get Out, I'm loving this new, very strange pattern of comedy people fucking killing it at horror movies.
Yeah.
So, I think they can pull it off.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm excited.
We can all just forget Rob Zombie was ever here.
Man, that was a long, boring movie.
Yep.
Although I do like House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil's Rejects.
I don't even really like those ones. I mean, they're whatever.
They're very edgy.
Yeah.
They're very edgy.
They're very edgy.
If you guys think you're edgy, you should go see how edgy Rob Zombie is when he directs a movie.
Yeah. He did it.
He's a real edgelord.
Some other big moments from CinemaCon included some footage from Disney's next live-action adaptation of its classic animated films, The Lion King and Aladdin. For The Lion King, the audiences there were shown footage from the Circle of Life moment in the film where Rafiki carries little baby Simba up Pride Rock and everyone's like bowing and shit. And Elton John comes in.
Yeah, he slides in on a piano. With
the bitch is back.
Wearing a boa, but it's a real boa because it's it's got animals and he's doing his crazy thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a circle of life. It's not what happened. People said it looked good though.
And I wish that I could hold you, as people say.
Well, with Elton John leaving Vegas, Elliot, there's a wide open hole for you to swoop in and take his spot.
Yeah.
All you need is a piano that's famous.
Just gonna get out a hammer, smash my front teeth up a little bit.
Yeah, and then tickle the bones.
Tickle them bones. Mm-hmm. Also, as far as Aladdin is concerned, people indicated that it looks much more like an action film than they'd previously assumed. But that makes sense, considering that Guy Ritchie is the director. Mm-hmm. I mean, I liked King Arthur. Not a whole lot of other people did, but I liked his take on it, and I think he could have a very cool take on this in sort of the same vein.
One thing's for sure, there's going to be a lot of hot takes on this
hot
movie.
Takes, the
regardless
hottest of takes.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're all mostly curious about Will Smith's portrayal as the genie in Aladdin and which rap song he sings during the credits.
We are the man in blue pants.
Anyway, his portrayal was described as fully live action, not a CGI character, where Smith is wearing vests, scarves, and billowy genie pants that he probably borrowed from Justin Bieber.
No, he just kept them from the Fresh Prince.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And Will Smith's character in this adaptation was literally described at a panel as a little Fresh Prince, a little hitch, and a whole lot of attitude.
Sounds like they're describing Poochie. Will Smith had to go back to his home planet.
I have to go back to my lamp.
Hey, you know what the problem was is L. Ron Hubbard rubbed that lamp one too many times.
No.
Look what happened.
So that description doesn't really give us a ton of confidence.
He's got a whole lot of attitude.
But, I mean, we can't judge it yet because we personally haven't seen anything. And, I like Will Smith most of the time.
And
if the script's good, he's usually good.
Guy Ritchie usually makes fun films.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to fight your way through all the hot takes to see this one, though. Mm-hmm. But whatever. Another film we're extremely curious about is the Freddie Mercury biopic Bohemian Rhapsody, starring Mr. Robot's Rami Malek. It's also directed by Dexter Fletcher, who took over after Bryan Singer was fired from the project.
Yikes!
No, guys, it's just that my mom's sick. I got to go home. Now you're fired. Okay, anyways, obviously the biggest question here was how well Malek was able to pull off a performance as one of the greatest rock vocalists of all time, and the response has been positive. Now, Malek also took the stage to introduce the footage that was shown, and he spoke about the risk versus reward of taking on such an important role, saying, "One thing I will say is when I got this role, I thought, oh my god, this could be a career-defining performance. And about 2 minutes later, I go, this could be a career killer. I'm not kidding. You don't get this right, and it's trouble. He is, without a doubt in my mind, the greatest performer that has existed. I may be a little biased, but when I started to study him, everything I learned about him, watching him, beginning to emulate him, there is no one like this human being. Behind him is one of the most prolific bands of all time, and together they've created music that not only speaks to us, but I think every generation. It's imbued in our DNA now." So
I mean, the pictures I saw, he looks.
They released two
like
new
him.
images,
Yeah.
and they both look great.
He looks just like him. He's playing Live Aid.
There was some footage that was someone had filmed from really far back, but like they synchronized the movements to it, and it looked dead on.
Yeah, it seems like he took the whole thing seriously.
Yeah.
I am Still very skeptical of this movie based on the things that Sacha Baron Cohen said about it because he was originally supposed to play Freddie Mercury and then left the project because he said the other members of Queen had way too much influence over the script.
Well, they did say that at the panel. They indicated that the remaining members of Queen signed off on the movie happily after seeing it. So your worries might be justified.
He said the original script that they approved, like Freddie Mercury dies like halfway through the movie,
and then
the rest of the movie
back.
is about them like.
And then we got this guy
fighting
from
Adam
South
Lambert.
America. I thought they got another guy, but whatever.
I don't know.
Anyways,
in other news out of this convention, it appears as though Fox is about to take a huge gamble on an interactive movie idea that people are either going to love or absolutely hate, because they're apparently making a choose-your-own-adventure movie that audiences will be able to control with their phones.
I love you. I was waiting for your reaction to this. Oh, it's like when we reported that theaters were toying around with the idea of putting play places inside the theaters for their kids. Like, yeah, you got a ball pit and a slide right there. It's like, if you're only bringing your kid to see a kid's movie and they're not paying attention, why are you there?
I mean,
Because you like Minions?
I'm okay with making screenings specifically for the little kids, so they, just put them in one cell together.
Yeah, they're called G-rated animated movies.
Yeah. So anyway, first of all, no one should be on their phones at the fucking theater, but aside from that, we can already see how frustrating this would be when the audience consensus doesn't line up with your own.
You're all morons!
But then again, maybe Fox is counting on that, so you'll go back to the theater and see it again for a potentially different outcome. This is a terrible idea.
Yeah.
At the very least, though, it's a unique idea.
Hey, they're doing something
guess.
different. Now, anyways, here's how it was described. There are several points in the story where the audience will be given two options to choose from, and they will vote on their phones. For example, if a character finds himself being confronted with a bunch of thugs in a dark alley, you can choose to fight them or walk away. Wow.
I wonder what people are going to choose.
Thrilling. Walk away. Everyone hit walk away. This is a big gamble. But
I wonder if it's going to be like the Choose Your Own Adventure books for kids where you make the wrong decision and then it's just like, there, you're dead. Sorry.
This movie was 30 minutes long because of the audience. Anyways, see it again. See if you can extend the time. Again, big gamble. But all I can think is that maybe it would be sort of fun if you got it on Blu-ray at home and watched it with your friends instead of in a theater with 300 people whose decision-making skills are, in your opinion, my opinion, anyone who's sitting next to people that are making decisions about a movie they're watching, terrible.
Well, if everything goes according to plan, no one's going to want to see this, so you might go see it and have just yourself in the theater. Have full control.
Well, then that's no fun.
It's my movie. I choose.
Yeah. Walk away. The end. Mm-hmm. And he lived happily ever after, not getting stabbed in a dark alley by a bunch of thugs.
Anyway, outside of all the CinemaCon news, the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark books that were wildly popular in the 90s are finally getting a feature film thanks to Guillermo del Toro, Oscar winner.
Fuck Konami.
Who will be producing the movie, which will be directed by Andre Ovredal, who's most famous for his hit Swedish film from 2010 called Troll Hunter.
Not to be confused with Guillermo del Toro's Troll Hunters, the award-winning show on Netflix.
Troll Hunter is a good movie, though.
It is.
I liked it. It's a very good mockumentary horror. It's a nice take on that genre. Mm-hmm. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark has only just been confirmed with Lionsgate attached to distribute it in the U.S., so there's not too much out there regarding when this will actually get released or what it is. But with Del Toro attached to oversee the film, we're at least excited to see someone with a passion for bringing monsters to life with his hands on the project.
The best part of the books was the art style, yeah.
Very disturbing.
They had that one where the lady's head was only attached by a little ribbon on her neck. You took it off, head falls off. Guys, scary. Mm-hmm. At least before the internet, it was scary. And then we found out about Slenderman.
Slenderman! Anyway, for trailers this week, we of course have to talk about the trailer for Sony's Venom movie, because after a brief period of time where the CGI footage of Venom was leaked onto Twitter, the full trailer was officially released. Mm-hmm. It does calm our nerves a little bit, considering the only thing we've seen before was that very awkward stitched together clip from a comic convention and that bad first trailer that didn't actually show Venom.
Oh yeah, you guys like, what's up, man? Venom, right? That was the whole thing.
Anyway,
yeah.
You see the CGI Venom here. He looks cool enough. Looks better than fucking that 70s show kid's Venom.
Ah, Tobey Maguire?
No, Tobey Maguire wasn't in that. It's Topher Grace.
Oh, that's what. Oh, I get confused with the two names. Topher Grace.
Anyway, this movie sort of looks more like something you'd expect from a Netflix Marvel series and not a huge movie, but hey, we could be totally wrong.
Yeah.
The trailer sets up the entire backstory of how Eddie Brock got his powers and the struggle he then has while living as both himself and Venom. There's some cool scenes here, and there's definitely potential. The dialogue is atrocious.
We are Venom! Which I get it. It's a reference to the comic books or graphic novels or whatever, but like everyone was. The reason I don't like it as much is because when it came out, everyone was like, "You see, they proved all the haters wrong." And I was like, "What do you mean they proved everyone wrong? It doesn't look that incredible.
Also,
it looks tolerable. It looks like yes, it looks fine. But it's like the people online were like, you see, all the haters were proved wrong." And I was like, you haven't seen the movie. It's a fucking trailer. It's a clip of the
Venom fans are like, I mean, they exist.
They're just like Venom.
Yeah. Also, that movie Upgrade, I believe, is coming out well before this. And the concept is quite similar. That's the one where the guy gets like AI put into his brain that like turns him into a fighting machine, but he like sort of starts losing control. Yeah, it's the same fucking idea.
The best part was on the other side of the Venom fan base. People were very vocally complaining about the pronunciation of symbiote.
Yeah.
Non-stop.
Yeah. Sorry, Jenny Slate. Glad she's in it though.
Yeah. In surprising news, very surprising news for me at least, the final trailer for Jurassic World 2 is also out now, and you could tell that we'd pretty much written this movie off, but I was forced to watch this trailer last night because it led into Infinity War, and I gotta say, believe it or not, Elliot, I gotta say, this trailer might have actually changed my mind a little bit. It's not, you had my curiosity, now you have my attention. It was, you did not have me in the theater, and now I'm at least somewhat curious to see what the reviews have to say. This trailer does give away a lot of the plot outside of that whole volcano exploding and trying to rescue dinosaurs, which is all that the previous trailers gave us. So yeah, tread lightly if you want to go in blind. But this final trailer, it makes the movie seem more like a thriller and more interesting than any of the initial trailers let on. I'm at least curious. It does make it look like a better movie than I thought it'd be. But as you're all aware, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, it comes out June 22nd, so, not too far away. We'll find out.
Anyway, that's all we have for you this week. Enjoy Infinity War and the never-ending conversations that you'll have with friends and strangers on the internet after you're free from worrying about spoilers.
It's a weight off your shoulders to not have everything spoiled.
Before you go, check out the Twitch community that we made for you.
Yeah.
The friends of the show, the viewers. Click the link down in the description to go check that out and follow it, because if you stream on Twitch, or even an avid Twitch viewer, when you join, you'll be able to promote your own streams or check out someone else's stream who shares the same cynical outlook on entertainment news as you do and we do.
Also, check out our new episode of Weekly Weird News, where a man gets his dick and balls back after having them blown off.
Demonetized.
It's, instantly demonetized. And also a new episode of Tech News Day, which features everyone's favorite rap factor, Phil Larigo. See you next time.
Bye.